Today we're going to be working with Chapter 8 on combining like terms. So this first problem has four terms, 8x, 10, 3x, and 4. In order to combine like terms have to have the same variable raised to the same exponent. So out of these four terms, 8x and plus 3x are considered like terms because they both have the variable x. The other two terms, positive 10 and negative 4, are also considered to be like terms because they're both whole numbers without a variable. In order to start, I'm going to combine the x's. So from left to right, 8 plus 3 gives us 11 with that same variable of x. Next, I'm going to go into the whole numbers. So a positive 10 minus 4 gives me 6, but it's still a positive 6, which is why I'm going to put the plus sign. 11x plus 6 is considered to be your final answer because those are unlike terms. The 11 has an x, the 6 does not, so I cannot combine them any further. The second problem we're going to work with now has parentheses. So just like PEMDAS, you have to get rid of those parentheses first. The only way to do that, since we cannot solve what's inside the parentheses, is to apply the distributive property. We call this the rainbow method in class, and that's when you take the number on the outside and multiply it by the two numbers on the inside of the parentheses. So here we go. 3 times x will give us 3x. 3 times 8 will give us 24. And I carried on the plus sign from inside of that problem. I'm going to have another plus sign, and I'm going to multiply 4 times y, which is 4y. And then I'm going to distribute the 4 to the 2. 4 times 2 is 8. But instead of putting a plus sign, now I'm going to have to put a minus sign because that operation inside the parentheses was subtraction. Hopefully this looks like the problem before with 4 terms, and now I'm going to combine like terms. Last time I was able to combine x's with x's, but unfortunately this problem has an x as one variable and a y as another. They are not like terms, so I cannot combine those. However, I can combine the whole numbers. So I'm going to box like terms and read that from left to right. 24 take away 8 is going to result in 16. So now I just have to write down everything else. So I still have the 3x, I still have the positive 4y, and it's going to be a plus 16 because 24 minus 8 is still positive 16. Again, we're now down to 3 terms, which is less than the 4 terms, but I can't go any farther than that because we do not know the values of x and y, and there are no other like terms to combine. We will try one more problem that involves exponents. So out of these 5 terms, I see 4 of them that share the same variable. However, the 2 that I'm underlining are 2 that are considered to be like terms. I cannot include the 6x and the 4x because those do not have the same variable with the same exponent. So I will box those since that's a separate combining problem. Unfortunately, the 10 is just going to be by itself, so I'll do a squiggle line so we don't forget about him later. Here we go again. From left to right, I'm going to start with the x squares. That's called standard form when you have the highest power decrease down to the lowest power, and your constants or your whole numbers will be at the end. So from left to right, 4x squared plus 3x squared is going to give you 7x squared. Positive 6x minus 4x is going to give you 2x. And then like I said before, we can't forget that whole number of 10, so that'll be put at the end. So that is our mini lesson on combining like terms. Hope that helped. Thank you.